Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're playing with Boros ETB TRIX deck. Yeah, this is a combo deck, and you are trying to maximize your Enter the Battlefield effects via two cards, Nahiri's Resolve and Elesh Norn. If you are interested in how this combo works out, stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, the number one rated host in universe number 3, Dr. You Can't Suck It. Yes, thank you.
Filmed before live studio audience.
Thank you so much. You can't suck it. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Platinum Mythic list over at magic.gg. They don't give them names there. After playing it a couple times, I realized this is a combo deck, so I named it Boros ETB TRIX because I thought it felt tricksy. And it's maximizing Enter the Battlefield effects. So Boros ETB TRIX. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through the cards of this deck super quick, talk a little bit about how it's supposed to work, and then we'll go out and always crush some hopes and dreams. Alright, what do we got? So let me focus on it. This is the combos. We got Nahiri's Resolve, which is an enchantment, and all your creatures get +1/+0 and have haste. Great. Pretty cool. But even more so, at the beginning of your end step, you exile any number of non-token artifacts and creatures, and then you return them that you control. You return them to the battlefield under their owner's control, yours, at the beginning of your next upkeep. So you get them back at the beginning of your next turn. So if you don't too worried about blocking, you just exile that guy. If you attacked with them, bring them back, right? And that's going to be a big deal because we got a lot of Enter the Battlefield effects here. Every time we talk about it, think about how the fact that we'll be able to get those guys to do their thing like every single turn, okay? Also, we got Elesh Norn, and it says whenever a permanent Enter the Battlefield causes a triggered ability, you trigger that an additional time. And whenever an opponent tries to have something come in to do an ETB effect, it doesn't happen. So they can't do anything. In between this, you'll get it happen twice. And with this, it'll happen twice every single turn. So that's your combo. It's basically Elesh Norn, Nahiri's Resolve, and like everything else, right? So let's look at everything else. Ambitious Farmhand. What does happen when it comes into effect? Gets a land, right? That means you can get 2 lands every single turn. Ossification comes in and it exiles somebody, which means if Elesh Norn's out, you'll do it. You'll get 2 people. You exile 2 people. Spirit Companion draws a card. This guy will bring a dude back from the graveyard back to your battlefield, which means you'll bring back 2 dudes back from the battlefield, which means you can cause, by getting this one guy played out, you would get then 2 Enter the Battlefield effects after that, which from there will all double as well. So it's just this cascade of awesomeness. Spark Rupture comes in, you draw a card, which means you potentially can draw 2 cards, which means potentially you can then bounce it out, bring it back, and get 2 cards again. But also, it screws over Planeswalkers. In your face, Planeswalkers, turns them into creatures. They have power and toughness equal to the loyalty counters, but then that's it. That is it. They're just dudes. All right, this exiles guys, which means you can exile 2 guys, artifacts, and creatures out of the deal. You could also use it to bounce your own stuff in and out, causing the Enter the Battlefield effect to occur again. This guy will give you life, and then also when he leaves, he'll draw cards. So really, he's the life gain guy. Kind of feel like we need a little more life gain for this deck. So maybe somebody else would be more awesome than this guy, but we'll see. Twinshot Sniper does 2 points of damage when he comes into play, so it means you'll be doing 4 points of damage potentially every single turn. Sunfall wipes the board. That's a break glass in case of danger kind of situation. Invoke Justice will bring some sort of permanent from your graveyard back to the battlefield. You got a lot of stuff to bring back. Farewell blows the battlefield up. Sanctuary Warden is a flying 5/5 with two shield counters. which means if you have Elesh Norn, you'll get 4 shield counters, and you can start to remove tokens from people to draw a card and create 1/1 citizens. I mean, whatever. They're there. They're chumps. This guy will draw a card and has double strike and stuff like that. Etali, man, if you can get double Etali going on, that would be fantastic. Because when it comes into play, each player exiles cards until they get to a non-land card, and then you can choose one from each pile to play. You can choose whatever you want from each pile. So you get 2 cards essentially, which means you get 4 cards out of this guy if you happen to have Elesh Norn out. All right, now we got a nice collection of lands. It's all about enter the battlefield and about doing your best to bring these guys in and out, in and out, in and out to maximize the pure amount of utility you can gain out of them. Can we cause a lot of damage in the mix? Let's see. Let's see what we can do. All right, so before we go out and cause our damage, let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Dear Black King Toxroll, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentation of the women. I'm up against WalterPhuego. La 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 la. WalterPhuego. I'm not a big fan of this. I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens. Ambitious Farmhand will get us another land. We can play 3, which will do... Oh, looks like we can get out the Extraction Specialist. What does Spark Rupture do? Each Planeswalker with loyalty loses all its abilities. And loyalty kind of... Okay. Yeah, let's draw a card. We can trade off. That's totally cool. Let's go extract somebody. There we are. Take that action. Still, I'm not playing with any red yet. No red. None of that's available to us. I just feel like we're 2 baby puppies clawing at each other. Like, just not doing anything, but trying to kill each other with our own little cuteness. So ineffective right now. Alright, so he's got double strike, which means he can only do 2. We'll go with this guy. Guess who's going to be coming back? Oh, that's not cool, man. She's back anyway. I need that red. We'll put this one out. Let's go ahead and put out another Ambitious Farmhand. She likes to think about her future career. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can have 7 next turn. We play Etali. Wow, we clawed this thing as slow as possible. Oh, he wiped out the worst time for him. No, we'll play that though. Nope, that's fine. So this is really anti-planeswalker for the most part. There you go. How are you and your little 1/1 doing things there? Alright, let's go digging for a card. And let's put out a specialist. This is you. Do I even have any basic lands to pull back at this point? I do. Alright, so still playing with Etali, and we got lots of little puppies. And we win. And we win! We were doing alright in our little puppy dog attacks. Alright, we're playing against Exumedgravexiii III. Beep. Yeah, I was thinking of some sort of weird Latin word. Exume, degravex, the third. But nope, just exhumed graphics. Let's go for land. We always need land at the beginning, a little bit earlier. Especially since we're using pain land for white at the moment. And we're loaded up on it. Exume. 2 life. Yeah, I'll trade off. Well, I guess I don't have a choice in the matter. Alright, let's see what he does if I do this. You can pin that guy down. You can do a little killing that way. Yep. Gone. All right, and we got a guy who can draw us a card. Got a lot of exile going on here. All right, 5. We'll chill. One, two, three, four, 5. Yep, we're not doing too great that way. Let's pull out this double header, though. Alright, we still have 3, so let's Circuit Mender this guy. Gain our double abilities. And send in a 1 person. And we're good. Yeah, 1 card, man. Alright, Elesh Norn again. And all in. Yeah, that sucks. Sucks for you, dude. Think he'll fall for it? In your face! Yeah, right there is fine. Well, this whole deck revolves around Elesh Norn being out. You're trying to get those double abilities, and it's great. I mean, there's only like 4 Elesh Norn in here. Victory! Alright, we are playing against professorphat. Let's set up Squeaky Pants there. What doesn't he like? 1. Everything is so expensive. At least it's all 5 there, huh? 2. There's 3. This guy's got creature kill on him. Draw a card. There we go. Alright, we're drawing more cards. There we are. And pop that out. Let's put out a nice Nahiri. Alright, let's be a little slow. It's fine. Okay, draw a card. Yep. Alright, in your face, Banana Pants Jones. I'll attack, because you get haste. Yeah, Smith. Oh, I was supposed to select him. That didn't work out. Next turn. And the choices we make, man. I know I had this whole different plan set up. He's got another one. Alright, let's get Elesh Norn out there. Pop this guy up. I can take 4. That's fine. We'll pop in for that much. Down to 2. Let's leave Elesh Norn out there. Fortune jumped back up to 8. That sucks. Elesh Norn again, huh? And we win! Alright, that was nice. Alright, we're playing against EMD 107. Keep. We got 2 mana. I can see we can quickly climb to 3. Let's get that bloodbath out of here, though. Ew. You can start shooting my 1/1s if you like. All right, pass it on there, Rex. All right, man. Well, I don't know what's going on here. You don't have much of a decision to make. Take it. All right, we'll take out blue unblockable and no attacks because I don't particularly want to be poisoned. He started the process. All right, Spirited Companion. Spirited Companion. All right, all in. All right, we need 6 for Sanctuary Warden. That's not going to be Nick's turn. Yeah. Oh, okay, wait. I got to throw out a card first, don't I? Let's just go ahead and go in with one of them and 2 of them, sure. 12! Who do I want to bring back? Let's do both these guys since they're both tapped. He's trying hard. Oh, look at that. That is a lot of cards. And it's all land. Decline. Oh, cool. All right, let's pop in with the dog. Gonna try to force me to kill somebody again. And he's back. Let's draw some more cards. Alright, he's down to 2. These guys, they're not going to achieve me anything, so we'll just pop them all out. Let him do what he wants to do against 17 life. You're going to get me 7 mana, or 7 poison counters in 1 turn. And we win! Suck it, Poisoner. Alright, we're playing against Dragonslie. Deep. Alright, so 2's going to get some Spirited Companion. We need to get some mana built up here. Alright, let's go for Ambitious. It's slow. It's all hell. Slow, so slow. Alright, there's a white mana. Put that into play, and that is the end of our turn. Alright, number 4. Let's just go ahead and pin something down. All in. So this is 6, that's 7. No attacks. Need 5 for this. We got nothing in the graveyard to bring back. There you go, chumps. Let's go for some more mana. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's keep going. I got 6 at this point. And no attacks. This guy's going for all the melds, isn't he? There's the second one. All right, I can pan this one down. Let's go for Ossification just to be cool about things. And what do we got left here? All right, let's go draw a card. Yeah, let's do that too. That guy looks nasty for some reason. All right, 19. We got a lot of chumps. What is wrong with this guy? I mean, I know he's here. Can't attack or block while that guy's out. Alright, draw your card. Let's go see what Etali can pull for us at this point. Alright, one of each. Alright, got him down to 12. He's going to super pump up. Alright, if I get Etali killed, I can always pull him back with Invoke Justice, which will be really cool. Now we gotta play this game, huh? Let's see. Once again, 3 points to the side. One to block that. Who else am I missing out on here? There we go. Alright, so I lost 2 points net that turn. And I get to pull Etali back. All right, 2 points. Let's just take out a dragon. Do I have extra points to pull here? Where? Nowhere. All right, victory. I don't know what happened there. All right, so we are looking at Boros. Enter the battlefield, TRIX. What a crazy deck this was. You know, it wasn't the most competitive thing in the world. I'm surprised I picked this thing up off of the Platinum Mythic list. Maybe you just get to a certain point where you're playing against people and they're just playing a bunch of crazy stuff all the time and they're not so worried about having super efficient killing decks. Either that or else I'm just not very good at playing it. I'm not sure which it is. But still, this was an interesting deck, big time. It was almost like an education and a kind of playing that I just wasn't used to. And so that's why I brought this particular deck forward. The other thing that was really interesting about this deck is I assumed the deck was all about Elesh Norn. And, you know, Elesh Norn was a big part of what made it great. Really, it was Nahiri's Resolve was the #1 card. I was shocked by that. After a while, I realized this was the most important card. This is, if you see someone playing this, you got to kill it. Because this thing is nothing but trouble. What is it about this card? It's the fact that, #1, it gives you guys +1 in haste. Sure. Everybody looks at that and they're like, oh, yeah, whatever. +1/0 in haste. Great, great, great. But it's the rest of it, man. At the beginning of your end step, exile any number of non-token artifacts or creatures you control. Any number. So all those guys that have enter the battlefield effects, yeah, you return those to the battlefield at the beginning of your next upkeep. So all those guys, Twinshot Sniper, Circuit Mender, Spirited Companion, Ambitious Farmhand, you bring them back. You bring them back. Extraction Specialist will come back in and then go get another guy for you. You can just keep getting dudes out of your graveyard that way if you really needed to. So yeah, this was the bee's knees, man, because you're just shooting people. If you happen to have Elesh Norn on, then all of those things happen twice. You know, you're doing 4 points of damage, drawing 2 cards, getting 2 lands, you know, just nutty things like that. All right, so let's see. What what ended up being I was not prepared for the question. What was the win rate for this deck? So we say, is this deck competitive? I already talked about the MVP. It was Nahiri's Resolve. The play on this deck ended up being, I got 50%. Now, it's probably a little bit higher than that because there were a couple of blue decks I just immediately gave up on. I just don't play against counterspell blue decks. That is just ridiculous. So it's probably a little higher than that. But still, even with just 2 forfeits, I still got 50% out of it. So it's a deck that has something to it. It feels a little loose. Like there's sometimes that I just felt like all I was getting was everything in the 3 and under category, and I never got to Etali or Sanctuary Warden. Farewell would have helped a ton. But if you take a look at it, there's only one of that, 2 of this. The chances of you hitting those things are pretty slim. And this thing is geared entirely upon going after Nahiri's Resolve and Elesh Norn. The other problem, though, is that we're not drawing. I mean, I guess drawing cards with Spirited Companion, and we're drawing cards with Combat Thresher. But, I mean, we just don't have a strong draw card engine to get us to what we need to make this deck work. Still, I mean, it came off the Platinum Mythic list, I believe. So apparently it works enough. I bet you that somebody, possibly you, could play this deck and pilot it in such a way that you're going to do much better than my 50%. All right, so was this deck competitive? I'm going to say, it has to be, yet I didn't see it myself. I'm not sure if I'm the person for it. I'm not sure my inner goblin is prepared to play this right. I might be a little too aggressive and not conservative enough to play it the way it needs to be played. Something like that. All right, was this deck fun? Yeah, it actually was. Once I got the hang of it, once I got to the part where I could get Nahiri's Resolve out, which was the most important part. Even Elesh Norn was cool. And Nahiri's Resolve can come in at any time. It doesn't have to be there before you guys come in because you keep bouncing dudes at your instep. And so that means that once you get it out, you can start bouncing the guys that are already on the table, that kind of stuff. So the timing is really good on Nahiri's Resolve. It doesn't really matter that much. Still, these guys are all 5, right? They got their thing going on. Invoke Justice, go pull things back. Yeah. It was always, the most fun was getting to Etali. That was the most fun. Sanctuary Warden was really good. But yeah, sometimes this deck liked to hang out at the low end a little too much. And then it felt, I think I even commented, it felt like puppy dogs fighting each other. It was too cute. If you were going up another little white deck, you're kind of patting each other with your little paws. Sometimes it wasn't, there wasn't enough teeth. It wasn't enough of an attack. You were doing too much other stuff. Drawing cards, gaining life, getting some land. Nothing. What you needed Etali, Sanctuary Warden, to go in and do some damage. You really needed to have these out so you can keep bouncing these guys to get to these other things. This is all utility. This is the meat. Sometimes you couldn't get to the meat. That was a problem, felt like. Still, it was fun getting there. You were doing stuff. Yeah, I guess that would be the best you could say. You were doing stuff. Was this deck interesting? Absolutely, it was interesting. It was 100% interesting. I haven't seen anybody else play Nahiri's Resolve. That wasn't a thing. I've seen Elesh Norn play quite a bit. I've seen people doing Enter the Battlefield against Elesh Norn, trying to get double the battlefield effects. I have never seen Nahiri's Resolve before being used. So that I thought was the most incredible thing. It was very interesting, and I don't get any instructions with this deck. I mostly just say, yeah, this looks interesting. Let's take it out and see what happens. And Nahiri's Resolve ended up being the standout card of what made this deck tick. All right, so let's count this up. We've got, was this deck competitive? Meh. It was probably better than what I got out of it. Was this deck fun? Yeah. Was it interesting? Yeah, it totally was. So I'm going to give this deck an A-. Competitive, it adds up for a lot. I think that 50% was a little rough. So therefore, I'm dropping it down to an A- deck. Just because, was it so interesting, I feel like I need to keep playing it? I don't know. Was it so fun that I felt like I should keep playing it? It was okay, but it wasn't that fun. Winning a little bit more than 50% is going to make me want to come back. And then other than that, it's just not. I felt like this deck had a lot of potential, and it needs to be tuned a little bit. But that's just my gut feeling, and maybe I need to tune it for me is the deal. So if you decide to play with this deck, you know, maybe you need to tune it for you, find the right cards, the right balance. I kind of feel like it's a little too undone up here without having a bunch more card draw that I almost feel like you need. Oh, let me just talk about it before we don't have the opportunity. Spark Rupture. That is a crazy card. It lasts forever. And I guess it's a permanent that comes into play that would make you draw cards twice. Great. But yeah, each Planeswalker with one or more loyalty counter on loses all abilities and becomes a creature of that ability. It's like you can play it. You're just playing. You don't have any Planeswalker. It doesn't help you out. This just messes up other people's Planeswalkers. It was pretty cool. It just seems a little weird to have in here. But man, I mean, I've never even seen this card before. I probably just read it in the spoilers and just went straight past it because who cares, right? I think I messed up a Wandering Emperor or something with this one time, or the whatever the new version of the Wandering Emperor is. Yeah, one time. I would have liked to have seen that happen more. It was pretty interesting. All right, so this deck is an A- deck. If you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the underground secret headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.